It's Zenzi, 5:55 a.m. approaching, which means that 4 days ago, I haven't had any sleep for even hours. I got up and proved I was not in any way, shape, or form violating any known parking rules. Some citizen just decided I couldn't be where I was parked. Now I'm between two churches. There's Monterey Bay between these churches. 2 videos. Call the cops on for being parked between 2 churches. 9 a.m. All right, but this is about my theory of consciousness. Let me explain clearly. I am a Carnegie Mellon degreed philosopher. Yes, homelessness happens to extremely intelligent people. I'm pretty singularly intelligent. I am the she Einstein of consciousness, the she Nikola Tesla of bio-electromagnetism. Philosophical hypothesis of bio-electromagnetism. And I'm sorry you don't hear these words very often. We have chemistry and biochemistry. We need bioelectromagnetism. I put the dash in for the philosophical part. Science will need to occur. But my job is not to do science. My job is to do thinking. Thinking about consciousness I have done. Experts like Daniel Dennett, the guy who wrote Gödel, Escher, Bach, they both think that consciousness is a user-defined illusion. I'm not paraphrasing. The cognitive scientist says, I am a strange loop. These are not half bad metaphors, but I don't tell anybody what consciousness is. Some ways in which it can be interpreted to work. There's Christoph Koch at the Allen Brain Institute. He worked with Francis Crick, the DNA guy, who had a Watson. Zenzi is my Watson, both in the Crick and the Sherlock and sense. Zenzi proves my theory of consciousness. Our lives need to be saved. And a documentary needs to occur. Every time I ask for help, I am punished. People nail signs up on churches that say, no Zenzi, for doing this, talking about consciousness. And in no uncertain terms, the book that is the closest, His Holiness is the Universe in a Single Atom. Number 2, BKS Iyengar, Light on Life. My theory of consciousness takes bleeding edge science that's in the future. Will kind of mine all kinds of cities, which in Western culture we call savant skills, which is what I am, autistic. And as I have had no sleep and am suffering from malnutrition and starvation, my physiology is compromised. My mind is. All this help you want to send me to presumes mental health dysfunction. I ain't got none. Let's keep that clear. I am, in no uncertain terms, doing a Jane Goodall. I just went to Africa and she discovered an extraordinarily important link in consciousness that chimps use tools. Zenzi again can show dogs have extraordinary mental powers. And we're reversing her TBI. That's the point of this. My theory of consciousness is impactful. It is based on embodied cognition. New science, if you haven't heard about it, it's so very interesting. But I take it even further. My theory, philosophical hypothesis of bioelectromagnetism, yields a poetic theory of all life on Earth. The philosophy of everything that is conscious. Let me just tell you, not just humans and dogs, octopuses. That's big in philosophy. There's Godfrey Smith in Australia who dives with octopuses. So those are the 4 people And I'm trying to get under 5 minutes. How can you talk about consciousness in under 5 minutes? Well, Zenzi does. But of course, this has to go in a college lecture. I have to contextualize everything. You have to have the references. And you're going to have to think about it. Western minds can't get there. The Western scratch whiteness thought tradition is a seeing is believing. You can't see consciousness. You need a feeling is knowing. What do bodies do? They feel. They sense. Feeling is both touch's primary sense, but the synesthesia of touch and sight and smell and taste and sound, hearing, consciousness operates at a different perspective of the electromagnetic spectrum. My theory of consciousness does indeed give scientists an answer as to why the universe is expanding. I don't dispute physical reality. I live and think on Earth at a very high level. And that is my work. And that is what I do in this car. All the time observing humanity. What's going wrong? I understand it. And I could give a scientifically gold standard falsifiable, although they won't be. They will be proven. Hypotheses on what consciousness is. Where our mind is. It's the brain ain't all that. It's a hub, a transmission receiving hub. Now, transmitting is a advanced consciousness skill. Receiving, so complex, and nobody's really getting that right. I do, and I'm diagnosing that we have a hashtag neurodemic. The chemical sent artificial man-made chemicals in our food and air. Forget about all the off-gassing of all the stuff, the exhaust, the petrochemical fertilizers. Just the artificial sense alone. When you're hungry, you're thirsty at a certain point. As I could tell you, things go awry. Almost lost my life. One mistake at a gas station. First mistake in my life of ever anywhere near. And they threatened to call the cops on me, have my vehicle towed, do all these horrible things to me because I couldn't pay. They're going to make me need to pay thousands of dollars more. My mind, I am so scared. I have had no support in my dire time of need. Doing it alone, which is why I ended up in this situation. I cannot believe I was refused assistance at MDC. It's wrong. And okay, y'all thought you were doing what was right. I was right there. Listen to me. I had books. I had ideas. I need the help I need. Not for somebody to just go, oh, yeah, you've been 5 years, or you just should have done that. No. I understand consciousness, and I will help everyone. I will redefine chronic disease with my theory of consciousness. I've sorted the hard problem of consciousness into an easy pivot. And it is astoundingly beautiful and astonishingly practical in terms of dealing with life on Earth and the myriad of assaults, the traumas, generational, universal trauma, because of an economic system I like to call plantation capitalism. Very tiny percent of humans has enslaved everyone else. But since we have choice, and we don't know what free will is, and science now is asserting there is no such thing. Oh, there very much is. Again, everything operating, medicine, it's operating on the Cartesian split, mind-body split. That's why everything is going wrong. Wow. Definitely made all that happen in under 5 minutes. Can you keep up with me? my mental fitness is extraordinary, and that is what is causing me harm, because nobody else is willing to spend enough time or sees mental fitness as a primary life-saving way of thinking, life-centric thinking that belongs to all 8 billion humans across the world. It's the tip of my iceberg. Underneath is quantum physiology. My goodness. Oh, I know why it's so long. This has been Zenzi Harmony.